After 2 years of waiting, today's the day that we finally get Scaramouche as a playable character. Oh my gosh, this feels so surreal. Oh my god! Look at him! Look at him! There he is. The man himself. Oh my god, this feels so surreal. I do not believe this. Ah. Oh. I see you. It's really fun. Oh my gosh.
Come on, serious suggestions, please. I'm not trying to write a thriller here. It's supposed to be an essay, you understand? An essay. That means facts and logic.
Well, if it's facts and logic you're after, you shot yourself in the foot with your choice of research topic, didn't you? The Tatara Suna mystery. When so much remains unexplained, there's little to be objective about. Unless, of course, you restrict yourself to textual criticism.
Yeah, well, this is my teacher's area of research. I can't change that. But it's fascinating enough without having to sensationalize it, don't you think? The strange location, the missing details, a mysterious person. I want to write my essay on something interesting, and I'm interested in getting to the bottom of all this. That's the only reason I came to you.
Yes, you came to me, so all the more reason to take my advice. The fact is, it's the dramatization that will make people want to read it. There's no getting around that.
Is it just Paimon, or is it kinda unusual for someone in Sumeru to want to write a paper about that? Everyone here is just going about their business. Maybe it really is just Paimon. Guess people here are free to research pretty much anything.
Still, let's go listen in.
Great! Let's go find out what this Tatara Suna mystery is all about.
Inversion of Genesis. Interlude chapter. Yeah.
Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Looking for me.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
If you don't believe me, I'll go.
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Examining the evidence?
Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking.
At least you're honest.
Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatara Suna?
A lot. I can tell you a lot about Tatara Suna.
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to learn more.
Well, technically, I know a lot about Tatara Suna because I read about the lore, but they don't know that.
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatara Suna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive for a first read?
Nah, it's okay. I read a lot. I've read all kinds of weird shit.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatara Suna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, who crafted a fine blade.
Okay.
But in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a kabuki mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger. Someone who dresses funny or acts in an unusual way.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This kabuki mono lived in Tatara Suna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened back then. And wow! did I get lucky?
Okay.
Stop shouting!
It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the government records office.
Oh?
He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals did, in fact, live in Inazuma over 400 years ago.
Over 400 years ago, okay.
Even back then, Tatara Suna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
That's, Kazuha's great? Hang on. His great-grandpa is the one that got adopted by the Kaidehara clan. And then Niwa is the name of his great. It's Kazuha's great-great-grandpa.
What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Oh, I have.
So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidehara clan,
Yeah.
the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidehara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The Kaidehara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
There's more?
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears.
Sir?
I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years
Please.
as a writer, this is by
Please.
far the most.
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabukimono was not a human, but a puppet.
There we go. We got the confirm. How did you find that out? Though? The Kabukimono has to be the balladeer, but what was he doing 400 years ago in Tatarasuna?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
Well, first off, how did you know about the puppet? She glared at Paimon and how she keeps her mouth shut.
No. Paimon just meant, how creepy. The way you described it makes it sound like a ghost story.
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be expected. And that's exactly what my book is about. Please, take a look.
Oh, jeez, I have to read all this? Oh my god. Oh my god. Hang on. Extract 1. Jeez, sir, why are your paragraphs so long? God damn, I was not preparing to read a fanfic today.
Oh, and please read my essay draft
Oh
as well.
my god. Why is it so long? I'm not here to read your... I did not come here to read your silly little fanfic and your silly little essay. I'm interested, but like, I don't want to read this now. Additionally, this puppet seemed to possess special joint lines that would fade with time, potentially even disappearing altogether. Oh. So he did have puppet joints. So the one in the cutscene in Act 3, that was Niwa?
Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawada's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Yeah, have you written an essay before?
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going to get. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Oh, all about that.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay. Hey, so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the balladeer, doesn't it?
Yep, should we?
Okay, then even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh?
Yeah.
After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. There's no point in...
Sir?
Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like...
doing? Sir, you're just... Are you just going around the city?
The Balladeer! No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Oh my god. Ariana, what are you doing here? There she is. Oh, he's there. Oh my god. Scar.
Nahida, bad news. We just saw the Balladeer strolling around in public.
He's right there, Paimon.
Did he escape or... Ah, it's him!
He's right there. He's literally standing right there.
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey, baby girl. I hate myself. I'm sorry.
It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about.
No, no, obviously, but we're just kind of surprised.
But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Because I like you. And that's why I haven't killed you.
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down?
I'm technically already calm.
But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the Balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you. Considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond. Wait a second. Farmer? You mean, he's not a Harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Nahida! Not in front of Skara. You did not need to say that in front of him. So he tossed you out like trash?
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui. And also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be.
Aww, his tone. Oh my god, the way his tone changed.
Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear.
No!
Don't you?
What?
And they're your friends. So I guess you'll be siding with them.
What I do against the Fatui is against my will. What the Traveler does against the Fatui is against my will. Okay, like... Oh my god. Is my Traveler the Geo Traveler? I forgot to change.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him!
I don't care. I'm not listening to you guys. I trust Skara. I trust Skara. I don't care.
Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right. Then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit.
Oh, for me?
Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul.
Oh, right.
It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them,
He'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
What if he lies to you? I think she'll be able to tell if he's lying, right?
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him!
I will say, okay. I will say though, you remember how like in the previous Archon quest or Skara fall and people were like, why didn't the traveler catch him? He did try to kill us 168 times. So, like, despite how much I love Skara as a character, he tried to kill us multiple times. And we can't exactly just easily forgive that, can we?
How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires most of all. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns.
Aww.
If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it.
Thank you, Nahida.
It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
Aww.
I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned.
Fine by me.
Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease.
Of course.
The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Oh yeah, it does look different. Come here. My second husband.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
Nahida sent me to babysit you.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smart!
Stop being mean to him! Y'all need to stop being so hostile towards him. I get it. He tried to kill you, but also like, oh my gosh.
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous.
Oh, hi, Nahida.
I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Understood.
Fine. Let's call it truce.
Shush, Paimon.
But only until this mission's over.
No, shush, Paimon.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are going to be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You think my eyes are pretty? I'm joking. I'm sorry. I'm down bad. I'm sorry.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
Well, to be fair, he's been here for like, what, 500 years?
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
I'm fine.
Ew! Ugh. The snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
Let's just focus on doing our job.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Ooh, Paimon's never
Whoa.
seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Whoa, it's so blue.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Just give me a moment to admire.
Why is
Sheesh.
it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
He's so polite.
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so say we did go running off in here. What would happen?
Paimon.
What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
Will you wait for me if I... He's not waiting. He's not waiting for me. He's just walking. Oh, he's waiting for me. He does wait for me. Oh, wait.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
Sorry. Okay.
No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth.
He had no reason to lie about that.
Are you mocking me again? Oh, what is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't
Exactly.
it. So why don't you relax your guard a little?
That's what I said. That's what I've been saying. Great minds think alike.
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
Obviously.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk?
Oh. Is this a telepathic conversation? I'm guessing that you don't want us to disturb the Balladeer.
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while. As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers.
Is it about his past, the betrayals, and the other events in Inazuma?
Well done. Smart and attentive as always.
Actually, I caught a glimpse of a few things when I ran into Hypatia at Partis DI.
So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that?
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained. And most of the information we have now is just from people filling the gaps with their imagination. At least that's what they thought.
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone. Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
Of course he knows. Sorry.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation.
Sorry, we have every right to keep certain things confidential.
Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait, how did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
No, but like, it doesn't make sense for either of us to not be in Irminsul. Like, what I mean, obviously we're not, our origins and where we came from and shit like that isn't going to be in Irminsul, right? Because we're not from this world. But what about people's memories of us? Like, the people of Tevat, like, who interacted with us and all that, who know about us. They should... Are their memories not considered as information in Irminsul? Does that not count? Like, what exactly counts as information in Irminsul? Like, genuine question.
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you.
Your attitude is better than I thought.
Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
Oh, you found something?
Anonymous data.
Anonymous?
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Give him a moment, my bun, I swear.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Oh no. Niwa was the man in charge of Tatarasuna. Plus he belongs to the lineage of Ishin art. Are we being sucked in? Oh, we're seeing it?
I have been in Tatara Suna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else.
I was not expecting. He kind of looks, his face, his eyes look a little goofy, but they actually made like an NPC model. I'm surprised.
As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatara Suna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow.
Why does this guy talk like... He talks like he's a news anchor.
Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. At least not on the same timescale. Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. And it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
Ooh.
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
I like that he has the side ponytail, like Kazuha. I guess the side ponytail is genetic.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly seeks to redeem his family's honor, an abundance of caution is well advised.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not a little overqualified?
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very attached to my craft.
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you still doing here?
Damn, he gotta pay rent.
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust
Why
me.
are you guys standing so close to each other now?
Drop the act. We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatarasuna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Oh my!
A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
No!
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that
Oh my
Escher
God.
was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all.
Oh my god, he's part of the Fatui. Are you fucking joking?
And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatarasuna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
Huh?
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace. So you're really going to destroy this place? Is that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong.
Is that the
There
door?
is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Are you fucking joking, bro? This is one of the Torei's clones? Huh?
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense. What are you really trying to accomplish by all this? Why go to all this trouble?
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled experiment.
This is crazy. This is the Torei?
If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity.
Oh my
I'm
god.
a Fatui harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you... gave us your cursed technology just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
God damn, he really gotta he really gotta get that money.
It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet. Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead. What other reason would a human have for befriending one who is not of our kind?
Oh my god!
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us.
Aww.
He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use other people. The only ones who think like that are people like you.
Wait, if he dies here... No! Doesn't that mean he's married? He's already got his kid? And that would be Kazu's great-grandpa? No! No, you killed him! His wife and his kid!
What a
Are we-
beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa,
No!
already dead. What a pity.
Oh my god!
Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
Oh my god. Oh, he mad. He is pissed the fuck off.
Hey, are you alright?
No, he's not, Paimon. What do you think?
Dottore? Dottore! Good. Good.
Oh, he's not okay. He is not okay.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine?
He was the one behind the Tatarasuna incident.
But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace.
Oh.
You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
This betrayal was a lie that he has believed for hundreds of years. Was this part of the doctor's experiment? If the betrayal never happened, it existed only in his imagination. But where does this leave him?
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't
You don't
want to be
say.
anywhere near him right now.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Oh, Scar.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, Like, why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the kabuki mono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as the mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and
Huh?
gave it to the balladeer. Then he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process.
I'm sorry, you're telling me he carved out Niwa's heart from like his chest and put it in the...
The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for."
My god.
He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent
Oh
servants.
my god.
The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke.
Oh my god.
The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it had protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Being betrayed and abandoned by a close friend is sure to cause great resentment. Now we know what was behind his decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden 100 years ago. Oh my god! But it doesn't mean that vengeance was the right decision.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Oh my god.
Tottori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Oh, Skara. Are you okay? Skara. He's smiling.
Hey, you alright?
He's not. He's not.
That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend.
We just want to make sure this doesn't affect the plan.
It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Aww.
But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Huh.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Teyvat.
Oh.
Oh.
Does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Unless...
You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Oh?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded to the summoning?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria.
Oh.
And lived with your sister for a time.
He lived with my sister. Why?
I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this.
Obviously, I trust you. Goddamn. You have no reason to lie about this.
Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
The fact that he's genuinely asking, aw.
Very valuable.
Okay.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Hello? What?
What have you done?
Skara?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long. I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me.
What do you want to know?
Give me your hand.
Oh. We're gonna hold hands? Okay. What are you trying to do?
Can you hear my voice inside your head?
Oh? Are you trying to brainwash me?
No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you.
Yeah, Paimon, stay out of this. This is between me and him. This is between me and him, okay?
So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past?
He wants to change it. Why would you ask that?
Done.
Huh? What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping me.
You see me hesitate, but that was because I know about Greater Lord Kutavada.
So long.
Sir?
I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
You did not give me a chance to read that.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
We have to stop him.
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again.
No! Come back! Skara?
From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life. You know, I never did like insects.
Oh my...
Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests they are. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone. Luckily, everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all.
So he's removing... Oh my god. He's removing himself from Herbisol to...
Oh no, he's really gone.
No. We can still do something. He's playable for a reason.
Can you hear me?
Nahida!
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now? I was suddenly cut off by some kind of power.
Your nephew's gone.
It was the Balladeer's fault. He shut you out.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his abilities, and it took everything he had?
No!
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed to keep an eye on him. Sorry, Nahida.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get out of Irminsul as soon as possible.
We're out. And we're at, an inn or something?
How do we end up here?
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you.
I want to help you!
I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with. Leave this one to me. Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances, it won't lead to a disaster. Please rest and recover your strength here until I say it's safe.
Paimon doesn't remember Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, and the Balladeer's question was a strange one. It's hard to explain in full, and the truth might be very distressing for Paimon. I'll skip the part about Greater Lord Rukkhadevata for now and focus on the Balladeer.
He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible.
It's not easy, that's for sure.
feeling about this. Paimon can't help but feel scared about what he might do.
Hopefully Nahida will handle it.
Ooh, Paimon's so confused.
He wants to erase himself from history.
Huh?
Oh! Are you okay?
Sorry. Paimon accidentally... It's the Balladeer's fault for causing Paimon all this mental stress. Ugh. Paimon's had it with that little brat. He's been nothing but trouble ever since we met him. There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? Otherwise, won't everyone who's connected to him be affected too?
Exactly. Worst case scenario, it will affect everyone with a connection to the Raiden Gokuden. Kazuha, Ayaka, Ayato. Will this mean that they'll disappear? No! No!
There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? So, how about, we list all our favorite foods to take our mind off things? Heck, if that doesn't work, Paimon's probably gonna collapse of anxiety here. Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Munstack grilled fish. Oh, and chicken mushroom skewers. Tea break pancakes. Cream stew. Sauteed matsutake.
What's happening? What's wrong?
What do we... What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon certainly can't remember what she was talking about. What was it again?
No. You were getting so worried about the situation with the Balladeer that you started listing foods.
The Balladeer?
No! No.
Is that a food too? Huh. Weird name though.
No. He's playable for a reason, guys. It's gonna be okay. He actually pulled it off. No! Nahida! What did you do? Paimon, come with me.
Okay, sure. Where are we going?
I want to go back. We're going back to Inazu. All the way? Right now?
Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay? You're acting like this is an emergency.
We're going to Inazuma right now? Hang on. Kazuha's in my team. He's here. He's alive. He's fine. He did not disappear. We're really going all the way back to Inazuma? Goddamn. Okay. I'm just gonna summarize the next 20 to 30 minutes of this quest because I've procrastinated so much on editing this that by the time this is being uploaded, Fontaine's coming out tomorrow. Like, literally in less than 24 hours. And I do not have the motivation to edit this quest in its entirety, so I'll be making this as short as possible. I'll be skipping all the texts, but I assure you I've read all of them and I'm not missing out on any of the lore. But with that being said, let's talk about what the traveler found out when we went to Inazuma. We first go to Amenoma Togo to retell the story about the Raiden Gokuden incident. The story pretty much remains the same, except for the fact that most of the clan's declines were caused by a bladesmith and not Scaramouche. 400 years ago, Niwa and another swordsmith leapt into Tatarasuna's furnace to prevent a disaster, but neither of them made it out. The bladesmith's son was left alone and blamed Inazuma for his father's death. This grudge lasted for generations until 100 years ago when the head of the family at the time took revenge on the Raiden Gokuden, murdering all the bladesmiths from the clans. But the Kaidehara and Kamisato clans fought back and the bladesmith didn't stand a chance. Have you seen Kazuha recently? Well, he's in my team right now, so...
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact.
He was here yesterday?
We spoke for a while over some tea. He seemed well.
Kazuha. So he still exists. He's happy. He's still okay. We go to find Ayato and Ayaka next, but they've gone out, so we talk to Furita instead. We ask her how the siblings have been doing, and she says they've been doing well. They often mention the traveler when they get together and talk about past experiences. Furita mentions how she's glad that they have a friend they could rely on, and that it's been many years since their parents passed away. After that, we go to see Xavier in Tatarasuna and ask him about the history of the area. He mentions that the furnace has had a couple of issues in the last few years, as well as hundreds of years ago, when another man from Fontaine worked on it too, which confirms that the Torii was still involved. We also ask him if he's heard of a Kabukimono, but he says that he hasn't. From that, it's clear that Scaramouche did manage to erase himself from history, but didn't really cause any major changes, nor did he manage to save anyone from the past. Then we return to Sumeru and find Akaba and Sawada. We read Akaba's essay again, and instead of a description of the Kabukimono, it's replaced with a description of the mechanic, and Akaba suspects that he might have something to do with the events. Sawada's extract was also pretty much the same, except the Kabukimono scenes were replaced with the mechanic. We end up telling them the truth behind the Raiden Gokaden incident before we go to see Nahida again. Nahida! Where's Skara? Where did he go? Bring him back.
Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then he decided he wanted to go to Inazuma.
I was investigating the situation with the Balladeer.
The Balladeer? This sounds like some kind of code name.
I'm sorry, did you also forget Nahida? Oh no.
You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me?
Even Nahida doesn't remember. The Balladeer acted quickly. He finished erasing himself before Nahida could stop him. I'm the only one who still remembers the things that were erased. Once again, I am the record keeper. No, we gotta bring him back somehow.
Traveler?
He became the Wanderer. He's gotta become the Wanderer somehow. We gotta bring him back. There are things that have happened that only I can remember. I have to tell you the truth. Well, at the very least about Skara. Probably not about Greater Lord Ukudavada, but I have to tell the truth about Skara. There once was one named the Balladeer, created by the Electro Archon. He was a puppet who lived among men. After a series of events in Tarasuna, the Balladeer, thinking he had been thrice betrayed, left Inazuma to roam the world beyond. With no trust for humans and only loathing for the gods, he bore his grudge for years as he grew in strength, then returned to Inazuma to take his revenge. He tried in vain to become a deity with a gnosis and ended up losing everything. Finally, he entered Irminsul and learned the truth behind his betrayal. Knowing now that his entire life was built on lies, he did the unthinkable in an attempt to reverse his tragic fate.
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that he could change the past. As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it.
So we still fight the thing, but Scar is not there? Is he just a robot?
Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality. The Traveler comes from a world beyond Tevat. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul, and it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect him. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible when you think about it.
You can say that again.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this Balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it?
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was, only you remember that.
I'm really not sure. We were enemies after all. I don't know his perspective in all this, so I can't say why he did something so extreme. Did he want to reset everything? Or save someone? Or did he want to completely undo his existence? Everything can be set right. It's time to solve this once and for all. Maybe that's all there is to it. I still remember the question he asked. He asked me specifically, and my hesitation gave him his answer. I hesitated because I witnessed Greater Lord Ukudavada erase her own existence. But I can't tell Nahida that. Well, let's hope she's not reading our mind right now. To put it another way, I know why the Balladeer was so sure it could work. But I can't tell them that.
Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share?
He chose such a radical option, and yet...
It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right?
Yeah. He changed the world in many ways, and yet the dead still didn't get a second chance. Those fated to a tragic end could not be saved. What exactly did he want to fight back against? The betrayals in his life? Or did he wish he'd never existed at all? No!
Please wait a moment. I want to check something.
That's what he said in the teaser. I wish I'd never been born at all.
Found it. This should be the one.
What?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
This matches everything I said.
I authored this record myself.
Huh?
She wrote a fairy tale?
That somehow has something to do with the Balladeer?
When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else.
Oh.
Hold on. So this record survived from the past?
Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabuki Mono and other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact.
Oh.
Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the Balladeer entered Irminsul.
Oh.
This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told us, the now erased life of the Balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night, and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them.
Okay, I'm assuming this is the Toray. The foxes are the ones in Tatarasuna?
But the
my
monster soon
God.
found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree, who had been abandoned by the humans.
El Gato! He's a cat! He's a little kitty!
The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us.
El Gato! He's so cute!
Furious at this happy
Oh my
resolution,
God.
the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice.
That fox is Niwa.
A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire,
Oh my God.
and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed.
He's crying!
Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox king."
He's holding the little heart. No.
The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. But the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after.
No. El Gato!
After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good.
El Gato! No.
Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. the kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different. This is not just the balladeer story. It is his very own memories. I made a backup so that it would be preserved no matter what happened. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet.
Oh my god.
This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own harbinger.
Feels like life is as insignificant as a feather.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still,
Okay.
Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the question still troubles us. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination. And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat?
We,
We can
you
pick
want
up
to
this heavy
eat
conversation again
now?
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out for a walk to clear his head?
later. You got it. Come on, traveler. You need to get out of your head for a while.
Ugh.
Much better after taking a walk.
Oh my god.
It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up.
No, I'm not crying. I'm just cold. I have a nagging feeling like there's something I'm missing. Something important that I'm forgetting.
Hey, are you gonna answer or what?
Give me a moment! Damn. It was something about Irminsul and deleting oneself. Oh my gosh, I literally thought this earlier. How is he gonna erase himself if he never existed in the first place? That's a paradox. It's the paradox. It's the paradox. It's the paradox. Greater Lord Ukadavana, Forbidden Knowledge Nahita. It's the paradox. He needs to exist in the first place to be able to remove himself. So he's gotta be in here somewhere. She said that no one can erase themselves from existence, not even her. Otherwise, why would she need to create her own reincarnation unless her Lord Kusanali to do the deletion for her? There would be no point. So maybe he's still here. He's still alive. He just never got involved.
Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
I figured it out! She doesn't know about Greater Lord Kudavada. It's a crucially important detail. It's simply not possible for the Baldir to completely erase his own existence. In which case, the question is, what happened to him?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Oh my... It's you! He's here! Oh my god, he sounds so polite. Skara!
Hey! Hey, wait!
You mean me?
No, not you. That kid. Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh Sunsettias and ran off. Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? The work's too boring for you? Or has the big city got too many distractions?
He's working here?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss.
Oh my god!
I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be hard to focus.
Oh my gosh, he's so polite. He's so pleasant.
Who's that guy? You know him or something?
That's him. That's the balladeer.
He's who?
He's who?
I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be able to afford to.
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on an outsider like
Oh
me.
my god, Scara.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsetias. And I promised the lady down the street I'd deliver a fruit bowl this evening.
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
He's so pleasant.
You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights. Are you a drifter or something?
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed. Sunsetias, was it? I'll be right back.
Oh my god.
Hey, what do we do now?
Let's follow him.
Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see you.
Scara. It's me. Hi.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his Sunsetias? Isn't that a bit too cool? Oh, alright.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back.
It's so weird seeing him so nice. If I wasn't seeing this with my own eyes, I would never believe it.
Huh?
Oh.
You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us!
Does he remember me?
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice.
Yeah, you're right. We were following you.
Have we met before?
He doesn't remember.
No, we haven't met. But you know me?
Yeah,
I have no recollection.
it's complicated, but I do know you.
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
I can prove it. You're a puppet.
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
Paimon, shush!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is must be important.
There's somewhere I want to take you.
Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss
He's
first.
so pleasant.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more for it. Is that true?
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm, and he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper for a while. Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
He's so sweet. Alright.
Then let's return to the city.
He's very sweet.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here. Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from the stall for a while.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Even then, I don't understand why you're so adamant that you don't want any pay for it. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world, like you had nowhere to be and didn't even care that it was raining. But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this. Your time is valuable. You know, you should go live your...
But I don't...
Oh.
No, you're right. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again for taking me into the city.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years. I just hope you find your path.
Aww.
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting for me. We can go now.
Nahida! Nahida!
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
She's so polite.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah, quite an eventful walk.
You say that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
What are we gonna tell him? Or just be like, hey, in another life you killed a bunch of people.
This is a difficult one to explain. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that it ought to be called a previous incarnation.
Okay, I have to ask. What was I like in my previous incarnation?
Oh, honey, I don't know if you want to know.
Oh, okay. I see.
We're sorry, but
You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation.
we're just trying to think where to start.
If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear. But I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Oh.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did, and many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart.
Aw, he probably still thinks that now, doesn't he?
Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never be happy.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's true.
Yeah.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time, a chain of cause and effect, a cycle of karma and consequence.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not enough to explain the world in all of its complexity.
It's a great way to say it.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
Oh, honey. About that.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest fans.
We were each other's enemies. You tried to kill me like 168 times. Plus the one time during the Inazuma Archon Quest, and also the one time during the Unreconciled Stars event. But hey, it's all good. We're gonna help each other.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
It's so weird seeing him make that expression. That worried expression.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
Does she have the memories?
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience my own transgressions.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to fill the void within me. Except maybe these sins that can never be undone.
Very well. As you wish. Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Okay.
Oh, good point. Given your, unique situation, we'd better keep an eye on you.
Understood.
Thank you. Now, prepare yourselves, everyone.
No matter what lies ahead, I'll face it. Whatever it takes. I'm just sorry that you have to join me for the whole thing.
No, it's okay. This is what I want. I want to do this.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth, but be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world. Please be careful.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
I want to do this for you. It's not because whether you ask for it or not. I want to do this.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
We're just finishing the job.
Alright. Thanks.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
Is that because this is kind of like his birthplace?
This is where you were born?
This place is huge.
Oh!
I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The Crystal Marrow Miners? There's someone passed out on the ground.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Are you injured? Huh. Not a scratch. And these fine clothes. Who are you?
Oh, Katsuragi found him.
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the Balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tatarasuna. In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa. During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor disguised as a mechanic. The Balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second in command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened fell to Mikoshi Nagamasa. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tatarasuna incident.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
It's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Oh my god. Scared me.
Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty.
Oh, it's the kid.
But there's nobody here.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here. We can't stay.
That's the kid he was taking care of.
I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died. And then my dad got sick.
So did you, kid. Oh my god.
He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started coughing too.
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the Balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him. After leaving Tatarasuna, the Balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise to live together. He died from his illness while he was still...
No!
The Balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
You're not gonna show the dead child.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something!
Oh my god.
You promised me we could be family!
You're no different from Niwa and all the others. you betrayed me too.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna vomit. I'm gonna be sick. Can't do this.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Or continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
Long-fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
In the original version of events, the Traveler once encountered the Balladeer here.
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by the doctor.
Damn, girl.
Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible, and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it completely.
Oh.
Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences now.
He mad. He mad.
Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest and stop pretending like you're above everyone else. By then, see you at the victory feast.
Well, about that.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer, are you able to continue?
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Why are you
Oh my
staring
God.
at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Damn, they just talking shit about each other.
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently of it.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
Damn.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other. and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they'd think if they knew that nothing matters to you apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
You don't say. He's the doctor. He's behind all of this.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and puppets?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, let it come to pass.
Are you saying...
Can you return my memories to me?
Oh...
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules, with each person being a collection of past experiences. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. All the emotions that you discarded will return to you.
I've lived with a void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to become my true self. I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul-searching as a Shugenja, I've never fully understood it. Looking at it now, it seems that I brought this curse upon myself. So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose, to change my destiny, and end my wandering.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours.
Cutscene.
You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Oh my god.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright?
Oh my god! Oh god. Okay. Okay, we're bringing this guy back. Hi, buddy. Hi! We gotta fight him. Okay, okay. We gotta keep Scar safe. Whoa! Scar! Sheesh! Oh my god! Give him a moment! Come on, he's reliving his trauma!
All worthless dross will be purged.
Is he getting his vision?
This won't be the end.
Is this when he gets his vision? Oh my god. Oh my god. You saw Mika's vision. Yes! Let's go! You got the heart that you deserve! Of course. Oh my god, wait.
This is trying my patience.
No! Oh my god.
Have you got all your memories back now?
Have you got any more stupid questions?
There we go.
Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
And his personality is back to normal.
Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
That's our Balladeer.
Wait, but it was you inside that thing too! What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am.
Now that you've recovered your memories, the past will catch up with you.
You sound like you're concerned about me.
Well, I am.
But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Me and myself, but not I. Okay.
Welcome back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer. You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it.
He won't go by the Balladeer anymore? Well, he's not exactly part of the Fatui anymore, is he?
After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him.
Yeah.
I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the Sixth is. It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish. What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous. Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it.
He doesn't see you in that way.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that.
Yeah, well...
Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way.
Traveler.
Mm-hmm. Yes?
After I dove into the information torrent in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma?
Because I wanted to know what you changed.
So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back.
Please don't make it sound like I'm extorting you.
Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero.
Exactly.
I think deep down you realize this.
Aw, look at his
People who show
face.
up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed, which is why there is emotion in the human world. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
I hope we can give Nahida a chance.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you too.
No, no. If you don't give him an ugly nickname. No.
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
No, I want to see more of you. You're getting on my team, whether you like it or not. Hopefully with a consolation or two, please.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
You want us to decide?
No, Paimon only does nicknames.
No.
If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Okay, good. You do nicknames, okay? I do the name here. I do the real names here.
Have you got anything?
Oh my god! Well, here's the thing. I was spoiled about this part of the Archon quest. I know, it was everywhere. I know that we have to give him a new name, so I did some searching. I did some research. I do have a name for him. Yuto. I like that name. That is what I have decided for his name. Do you like it? Yuto.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, alright. If you say so.
Do you like it? You didn't say if you liked it or not.
What about a nickname?
Oh,
are you done yet?
Oh, Yuto. His name. That's why do I feel so happy about this? It's like naming a child.
Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Yeah.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
But if we do that, then...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been.
Oh, to be fair, he probably wouldn't die from that anyway. Alright.
What's that look for? Don't make that face. I know what I'm doing.
She's worried.
That day will come. Alright. We're done here. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
Goodbye, and hopefully see you in the next couple of minutes on my wishing screen.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need some time to calm down.
Yeah, true. But even so. After everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fierce anymore.
There were some bumps along the way, but it's all over now.
So we can finally go eat? Paimon is starving.
Yeah, I have not eaten this since, like, I have not had a proper meal. I've been eating chocolate, but that's it. I have not had a proper meal. Or breakfast, for that matter. That is the end of the Archon quest. Right? Is there more? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's these two.
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow in Mikoshi Nagamasa's mind for decades to come. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized blade, the Daitatara Nagamasa, was forged, the people rejoiced, and there was painting, dancing, and drinking. All these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the final sunrise that Mikoshi Nagamasa saw in his lifetime. Life is a story too long to be told, a journey that you must walk to behold.
See ya.
Whew, it's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back.
Rest up, Paimon. I'll buy some delicious treats as a reward.
Wow, great! Huh? Look at that vase.
What about it?
Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? But Paimon doesn't remember there being a cleaner.
You broke it. That night we stayed here, Paimon bumped into the table after being startled by something to do with the balladeer and broke the vase. But the balladeer erased his existence. He changed the world. So why is this vase still broken?
You sound lost and confused.
Who the fuck are you?
I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Who are you?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance, but for anyone else, who can say? When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. The same is true of fate, like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a broken vase, is it not? History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
Who's... What?
The voice has disappeared.
What? This is like the Golden Apple Archipelago.
And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere and saying all that scary stuff?
Who's that? Believe my eyes. Does she mean I should trust my memories?
Anyway, that vase is still lying there broken on the ground. Should Paimon go get someone to clean it up?
Wait. I wonder what else awaits me in the future. Oh my... Huh?